Welcome back to the Sports Edge Podcast. I'm your host, Commissioner Dan Stanzik. A thrill, as always, to be joined by two-time SEFFL champ Justin the Guru Eisner. Guru, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I was supposed to be in California and missed this week, but I flew home specifically to address my personal problems on this podcast. So
I love it, and we will get to that, and to stay as far away from Steve Curtis as possible. Exactly. Someone that has not stayed far away from Steve Curtis for years and years. I guess he's pretty far away from him now, but we are thrilled to be joined by a first-time guest, 2019 Sports Edge Fantasy Football League champion Brian Walsh. B. Walsh, thanks for joining us. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Fresh off the road, ready to talk ball, boys.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we will just dive right in. We got our Week 8 recap. Let's do it. There's a lot to get to. The McConkey off my back beat the Guru's Man Rockets 131-128 thanks to a Sunday night explosion by Tucker Kraft. 29.8 points helped Hath chase down the Guru, come away with the win. I think I make this joke every year. I'm not sure if I do. I apologize. If I don't, then just roll with it. But Kraft is now third on the all-time Crafts list, just below friend of the pod, Robert, number 1, Macaroni and Cheese at number 2. Real question, though, about this matchup is, should it be remembered as the Tucker Kraft game or the Drake London game? Guru, you inexplicably left Drake London, who is a late scratch, in your lineup, lost this matchup by 3 points. Explain yourself.
I was at church. I don't know if that helps, but that's
doesn't
help.
Doesn't help.
I will say that I knew it. Sunday came around. I saw the score. I saw who was left, and I said the fantasy gods are going to punish me. They're going to punish. I thought I was going to get killed, and then I had an unbelievable day with a couple guys, like Jonathan Taylor and others doing their thing. But I knew it. I just felt it coming. The only part of me that thought maybe I was going to hold on was the fact that it did happen because I was at church. I thought maybe it was God versus the fantasy gods is how I felt what was going into that Sunday night. But I deserved it.
I feel like this has happened to you in the past.
It has.
Has it not?
It has, and it's happened. It's usually Sunday mornings are tough. These late ones are tough for me because I'm like usually at the rink and then over to church, and then when I come out, it's out. So if I don't get a chance in that shuffle to quickly look, I don't know. I missed the fact that might be a possibility, and no bueno, no excuses.
Not good. B. Walsh, 2 questions for you on this. First, should it be the Tucker Kraft game or the Drake London game? And how does it feel when I refer to Hathaway as the reigning champ?
I'll take the latter one first. That's tough. It's tough. Right. Well earned because he's been there. He's been there for so long, so well earned. But I think it has to go down as the Drake London game because I think Eisner made reference to busting Hathaway's chops about his lineup ahead of it.
True.
And then for it to come full circle is just karma.
Yeah. It's a tough beat for you, Guru. It's a tough beat.
Really, really good point. And I was really hoping a couple of the bench guys just wouldn't have had good games. Like, if I would have played him, it wouldn't have mattered. Nope. Kareem Hunt, 16 points. Sean Tucker, 11 points. I'm sure I would have been picking between one of those two.
You could have played anybody. You needed 3 points.
Well, if I play Hollywood Brown, he got nothing. So that would have been a 0.
Okay.
And the other guys on my bench, I wouldn't have played, so it wouldn't matter. But there was another player that also didn't put up enough points, but it would have been between Tucker and Hunt. So
yeah. A lot of zeros, which a couple of which we will get to later. B. Walsh looking right at you. But we move on. The Allen Bros breeze past the Stanziks about as easily as the Eagles breeze past the Giants on Sunday. It is time for the commish to sell. Make your best offers for Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Tony Pollard, Kamani Vidal, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Rashid Shaheed, and Mason Taylor. Wait a minute, what's that? I'm sorry. I'm being told the Stanziks miraculously came back and won this game, and they started 3 tight ends and won this game. I guess the Ziks were rewarded for being the only one to celebrate National Tight Ends Day. Guru, I will ask this to you first, Walsh. You will answer it next. Do you know what the record is this season for teams that are playing more than one tight end in their lineup?
I don't. I'm obviously going to guess. We've got through 8 weeks. I'm guessing it's been done 7 times. I don't know if you're going to give us that number or not. That was my guess. I went 2 and 5.
Walsh, what do you think?
I think it's a winning record because I think it's been done a bunch. I'm going to guess 7 and 2.
Okay, you're both off. It's 8 and 6. It is above 500. So Walsh, you're correct there. Ding, ding, ding. If we're doing prices right, I'm giving you the victory in this. And if you remember last season, we charted this 12 and 14, 2 games under. This year so far, 2 games over, which tells you we're at a 50-50 clip here. So we thought for sure this would be a losing proposition. What the data is telling us is that it doesn't really matter if you play two tight ends or not.
So do we? I mean, on that note, Stanzik, do we owe an apology to Hoban?
I feel like we're taking a loss. Let me also say the strangest part of this phenomenon is that Pat Hoban has not played two tight ends all year.
It's because he's hurt.
Yeah, because he traded Tucker Kraft to Hathaway, but that's a separate conversation.
He's on to whatever the next trend is, Stanzik. He sets the trends. He doesn't follow them. He's on to the next one.
Speaking of going on to the next one, the Thrill to Chase slashed and dashed the Hyphenators. We have a long way to go before the playoffs, but right now I see three very distinct tiers in this league. Tier 1, 3 teams virtual locks to make it. That's Steve, that's Sands, that's Hath. Tier 3, we're kind of going from Tier 1 to Tier 3, but bear with me. Tier 3, 3 teams that are out of it, Robbie, Hoban, and Pete. Unfortunately for Pete, who I thought had to win. I had already written this one with my team losing, and I had to switch Pete in for me losing. Tier 2, 4 teams are trying to avoid being the other team left out of the playoffs. That is you, Walsh, you, Guru, Kess, and me. So I will ask, Guru, I'll certainly ask this to you about 30 more times before the regular season is over. Walsh, who knows if I'll ask you again. We'll see how the rest of this pod goes. Who of those 4 would you bet on right now to miss the playoffs? Walsh, we'll start with you. Would you bet on you, Guru, Kess, or me to miss the playoffs?
I think it's got to be me.
No way.
I disagree too.
Do you? Yeah, I do. I got zero confidence in this squad right now.
I can't believe you're picking yourself.
I think it's a coin flip between me and Kess. If I'm
okay, it was kind of a coin flip matchup this week between you two.
Yeah.
Guru, who do you think? Who misses?
I'll be curious to go your answer, Stanzik, because I was going to say I think it's a coin flip between me and Kess. I think it's probably me. That was going to be my answer, but I was like, I don't know if I can pick myself. My next answer would be Kess. I wonder if Stanzik thinks it's him or Kess. I don't think so. I think Stanzik. I think you and Walsh, no problem, get in. I think it's between Kess and I.
My team is still 3-5. We do lead the league in scoring, but it's not by a wide margin. But 3-5 is no sure. I mean, like I said, I had my team as tier 3 and out of this until that comeback on Monday night. I was going to say Kess just because he's not with us. Not that he is, perished from the earth here, but the three of us are on this podcast, and we're the three options.
It's a bad week for that phrasing. I feel like lots of people died this week. That was bad time for that.
So I'll say Kess misses the playoffs, even though I've been a vocal supporter of his team throughout the season. We'll move on from that as quickly as seemingly possible. Hunter, I don't even know her, ransacked Bowers Castle. Zan started 2 number 2 wide receivers, George Pickens, T. Higgins, 2 tight ends, another person celebrating National Tight Ends Day, and another victory, part of those 8. His 2 tight ends caught 3 TDs combined, by the way. He also started 2 Panthers running backs in Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. Looks like Rico's going to be the guy. Uncle Rico, how about that, will be the guy going forward. At least that's what their head coach Dave Canales said. Routed Hoban, and it is time, guys. I know we addressed this a little bit last week, Guru, but we have to talk about the easy schedule that Zans has faced. As we discussed, they are 10th in points against. Super, super lucky. But there is more. Zans has only faced 110 points once all year. They lost that game. That was to Steve. The league average in points scored is 113. So Zans has faced that total, the average, just one time. And again, lost that game. Every other team in the league has faced 110 or more at least 3 times. A lot of you guys, like you, for example, Guru, have faced like 108.9, 109, but I couldn't count that. But 3+ times for everybody in the league facing 110 or more, only once for Zans. Robbie and Kess have faced 110 or more 6 times each this season. So 6 out of their 8 matchups, they faced 110 or more. Again, Zans has only faced 110 or more once. If I had Zans' schedule, I'd be 6-2, currently 3-5. If Hath had Zans' schedule, he'd also be 7-1. Robbie had Zans' schedule, they'd be 5-3. So we can either call this karma, we can call it poetic justice, whatever you guys want to call it. But Zans is now going to face the 3 highest scoring teams in the league in back-to-back-to-back weeks. Walsh, he gets you this week, then he gets my team, and then he gets Steve. Walsh, you're second, I'm first, Steve is third in scoring. So I'll ask you guys this. Guru, we'll start with you. What will Zans' record be in those 3 games, and what will the average points he faces against be?
All right, so I looked at the 3 matchups. I think the Walsh game coming up here is 50-50. I'm gonna give him the win in that one, and I'm only gonna do that.
How dare you? Walsh is staring right at you.
I know, but I think he's gonna lose the next 2, and I don't love calling him 0-3 in the next 3, although I think that's possible. I think it's a coin flip this week. I like a Stanzik win next week. He's got 2 receivers on bye in that week, Stanzik. So you're really only missing Kelsey that week.
I'm not even paying you to be an advanced scout. If I'm only missing Kelsey, I'm also missing Mahomes. But carry on.
Yeah, but you got plenty of quarterbacks. I'm not concerned there. He's missing Pickens and Higgins, so I'm going to take you that one. And then Steve is just I don't like to talk about Steve's team because they're good, and so I like him there. So I'm going to say 1 and 2. I think he squeaks one by Walsh this week and then loses the next 2. I would say the average points he faces is 118.
Wow. B. Walsh, what do you got?
Yeah, I had him going 1 and 2, facing an average of 120. I mean, he's got good quarterback.
Hurts. Yeah, and Dak. Hurts or Dak. Yeah,
Dak heading into last week, sneaky fantasy MVP, under the radar MVP. He wasn't playing him, but Dak was hot, right? So and he's got a stack with Pickens. So I'd say 1 and 2. I think he nips me this week, but he's got 2 tough battles ahead.
Wow. I also am saying 1 and 2, which means Zanz is going to go 3 now. It's just right in stone right now. I have 1 and 2. I think he's going to face it. Yeah, I think one of us is going to throw a dud out there. I bet the average of the 3 he faces is 107. I think it's still going to be under the 110 average, but I think 2 of the 3 will probably score above that 110 mark. Good luck to Zanz in those 3, but we will see if the regression to the mean will happen for him this season. Last game to get to here. The Daniel Jones-led Sale Seas took down your guys, Walsh, 122 to 114. You had, we alluded to this earlier, you had 2 healthy players that scored 0 points. Quentin Johnson, he had double digits in 5 of the 6 games he had played this season, 0 points this week. Jake Ferguson led all tight ends in points heading into the week, 0 points this week. Your quest for your 5-game win streak halted in the waiting room at the doctor's office, and I think there was something there with the doctor's office. We have the Guru's Garage as a regular segment on this podcast, not too regular. I think we've done it once this year, but we'll get back to it, I'm sure. So, Guru, you're the co-host of this podcast. We will give you first dibs here, and you were great with team names for Robbie. So, give me your top 5 or so segments that we could create using anyone in the league. What do you got?
All right, I got 4. So we brought Walsh on, so I went with Walsh first. I went with Walsh's Wicked Awesome Winners.
Okay, alliteration.
I think maybe he can handicap the matchups every week, or maybe just give us actual games to bet on. That could be a multiple options.
I see what you did there with the Wicked too. I don't want to get that make that loss either with the Boston accent. I see what you did. Good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I went health tips with Dr. Kess. Now I think this again 2-parter here. This could be analyzing injuries going on in the league, like a Stephania Bell. Or maybe we each week we take our pants off and he makes sure that we don't have testicular cancer. I mean, that's already worked once. That could be a really important segment, Dan. We could be saving lives every week. So I think health tips with Dr. Kess, there's something there. Third, I went with, and this is where, I don't know, you might know this, Stanzik. What is the all-time record between Hathaway and Hoban?
I don't know it.
Okay. So I think whoever is winning all time, it should be either Hathaway or Hoban's hair helpers.
Ooh.
And they're going to give us some hair tips. I think that could be interesting for some of us on the podcast. Last one. This is my favorite one. We're going to come up with a really important, really clever name for a segment with Steve, but we're going to run out of time every week, and it's not going to be that name and Kimball bit. And every week we're going to tell him he's coming on to do some great segment, and we're just going to cut the podcast and not invite him on. Those are my 4.
Best idea you've had in a long time. Walsh, what do you got?
All right, I got a few here. So I'll start with the dud or a flop of a draft pick. So in honor of Hoban, the slop of the month.
Okay.
Everyone's got a player that's a pain in the ass that they hate playing, right? Yeah. So short, Pitta. Steve kept Dennis Pitta one year. And Steve's Pitta party.
That is a deep cut.
I feel like another one, Dan. I think you talked this last year. One of the worst people to own over the last few years was Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah.
Everybody hated, so that plays well with that too.
Yeah, Walsh has to look in the mirror on that one, but
yeah.
A throwback to an earlier podcast who could do the biggest bench. So press bench with John.
Oh, very good.
He just should not play. He'll analyze guys that should not be starting in anyone's roster. I primary care with Dr. Kess.
I think Kess is the easiest for this, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The obvious. And then my last one, which this can go 2 ways here. Guru sort of alluded to it with mine, but Tom's cover models for the hottest player of the week.
Okay.
which would also play into a podcast that me and Hoban host and talk about covers. And then Hathaway's our third mic talking about Justin Herbert, who he's dating and who Christian McCaffrey's married to. And
we're starting a podcast network here is what I'm hearing. And I love it. And I'm in.
Yep.
And why not? Let's do it.
You have to be in. None of us know how to do this. So you need to handle this stuff. You need to handle this.
I love it, guys. All right, I'll run through mine quickly. I also have I have two that are Kess related. The first one I have is the yearly checkup with Kess, with Dr. Kess. I don't know if it's like you view your roster, see how it's doing, maybe going in the offseason. I also threw out the Allen wrench if we wanted to get Pete Allen on the pod to tell us like the player that's been screwing up everybody's lineup, like who has been the wrench in a lineup in a bad way. We've done this before. It's not really a segment, but paths. I like a good rhyme. I have the Kess of death for Cass, who could tell us similarly, like a player who's been terrible or a player whose team's going to lose. And then this is a throwback to a cartoon I watched as a kid. It was called Bobby's World. We could do Robbie's World, and we could do anything with Robbie Goodowdy. So good ideas by you guys. I'm impressed. I love them. Walsh, it's great to have you here. So we're just going to dive right in here. I have questions for you. This one's off the map here, but we referenced it on an earlier podcast. Have you ever played golf with Hoban, and why aren't you guys best friends?
I don't think we have. No. Not in the same group.
It's very disappointing. We need to rectify that immediately.
Yeah, we should.
Why did you keep 16 guys? What happened with that? I know there was a work function related or something. Can you walk us through that? What went into that?
Yeah, there was a work function, but I mean, so I lack so much top end talent at the wide receiver position. So it was clear I wasn't going to be able to make any moves to get anyone. So I figured, why not just get middle of the road guys that I wanted? And rather than maybe not getting them in the third or fourth round, I was just going to trade for middle of the road guys like Quentin Johnson and Rashad Bateman and just keep a slew of them rather than try to draft on my phone. So I figured, why not just pay for those guys and just build up a team of depth? Now, I thought I had that. I don't feel like I have that anymore.
You're currently just 5 points off for most points in the league. When we taped last week, you were the leading scorer in the league. Like, it's a big investment, but it's a counterintuitive strategy, which I think we can all appreciate.
Yeah, and I was trying the stacking with the Chargers, right? So the one wrench that has really come in is this Arondé Gatson Jr. kid.
There we go, the Allen wrench, and he's on Pete's team.
He's just stealing targets. I mean, last week, Quentin Johnson threw up a 0. He had 0 targets.
Yeah, that's not good.
Jake Ferguson had 1 target. Like,
I don't know what we're doing there. So you had a work function. We referenced this. I don't know what anyone does for a living. Like, Guru, I have no idea what your job is. I don't really care. But Walsh, you brought it up. What do you do for work?
Cybersecurity sales.
Oh, I have a brother-in-law who's in cybersecurity. That is interesting. How are we feeling about Drake May and Travion Henderson? Both on the Stan Zix, New England Patriots.
Super excited. I mean,
Drake May could have been yours in the preseason. Guru, Patrick Mahomes could have been yours.
Absolutely. You were pressing them hard. I don't need a reason to root for Drake May, though. I already have my reason to root for Drake May. So I don't need him on my fantasy team and be upset with him if they lose. And so that's an emotional hedge. But the Patriots are playing a dog shit schedule.
A John Zanzarella schedule, yes.
Yeah. They're playing the Zam schedule.
Do you have a jersey? Have you bought a Drake May jersey?
No.
Are you a jersey guy?
I'm not a jersey. I had a custom Ty Law jersey.
Oh,
nice.
So Guru, do you have a jersey? Are you a jersey guy?
I'm not a jersey.
A sweater guy?
I got a lot of hoodies and like long.
Yeah.
I'm not a big jersey guy.
Yeah, a lot of apparel for all my teams. I used to be a jersey t-shirt guy back in college.
I had jersey t-shirts, yeah.
But the jersey was like a step too far for me. I don't know. B. Walsh, the Pats are your favorite team, I assume, right?
Oh yeah.
Who is the second? Celtics, Red Sox. Okay.
Yeah, Red Sox, and then a significant drop off to the Celtics.
Yeah,
and
then are we Bruins or just like whatever? Who cares?
Casual. Go to a game a year. Go to a Saturday matinee. And
are we rooting for the Blue Jays in the World Series while being a Red Sox fan? Like screw the Dodgers, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean I love Ohtani.
Yeah,
but and I love Mookie too. Like Mookie's hard not to root for.
Yeah, I mean they won it last year, so.
But I work with a ton of Canadians, so they're all rooting Blue Jays right now.
There we go. I love it. Who do you enjoy beating more in the league, Steve or Hath?
I mean, I'll take any win I can get. So
Answer the question.
I think it hurts Hathaway more, which that gives me more gratification.
Yeah. What's funny is if Guru for us, it's Steve, right?
Not close.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to win more for the storyline. Like, I don't have any.
True.
Against Hathaway. It was just funny that he would never win.
Yeah.
And I liked that, we're all for the storylines here. This Steve, I just can't stand him winning. His team is good. It drives me crazy.
Stacked.
That's a jersey thing, by the way. I think a good rule of thumb that someone once told me is as soon as you're older than the players, you can't wear jerseys anymore.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good rule of thumb. I like that.
It's a good rule. Speaking of rules, this one just came to my head. It's a John Glancy rule. Walsh, we'll see if you agree. He told me this years ago about wearing white belts on the golf course. He said you can only wear it if you have a less than 36 waist or you're under 36 years old. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. A white belt is not a classy look.
Okay. Do you have any rules for us that come to your head when you heard these past two from Guru and I?
No.
Okay, good.
I have a white belt, so am I okay because I'm under a 36?
I'm fairly confident that your waist is under a 36.
Well,
having not seen you in years, but I'm pretty sure you're rocking like a 32.
I had a customer tell me once he will never buy off someone with white belt and white shoes.
Yeah. Wow. I think I agree with that. So you lived with Steve and Hath in college for 2 years. Can you tell us something that you learned from living with them that we would not know this many years later?
Yeah, so Steve is the slowest eater on planet Earth.
That's right. My father-in-law, we'll give him a run for his money. He used to drive me insane.
My dad is the same way.
Yeah.
There's no way they're slower than Steve. He's the slowest eater you'll ever see. It's incredible. Like hours. If we give him any dinner, it would take him hours to eat.
I'm trying to think back to getting beers in my. Maybe we got some food. I can't remember if he ate it slow or not.
What's funny is the last time I had a meal with Steve, it was at Colony, and I'm pretty sure Tim and I, Burge, former SEFFL champ, Tim Burge, I think we housed our pizza and Steve had like one slice gone. So I think this is ringing true. I didn't notice it, but if I lived with him, like, of course, you can't not notice that.
Yeah.
Anything from Hath?
So I think the statutes of limitation have passed here.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
But Hathaway's a kleptomaniac. No, it just leads to one story. We used to just pocket like Kit Kats and Reese's from 7-Eleven. We lived across from 7-Eleven, right? So some petty larceny.
Yeah.
And Hathaway was the only one that ever got caught.
No.
And he was stealing a GQ magazine.
Ooh.
And the guy caught him. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. It was hilarious. Man. Like, I don't remember who all was with us, but I remember that clerk. Like, I could bring in a sketch artist right now, and that guy would be drawn to perfection because that guy was so pissed.
I need more about who was on the cover of this GQ magazine, how often Hath was reading GQ magazine. We need to follow up with Hath for sure. That is a great story that we need to explore in full detail.
It's also interesting. The decision to rob your neighbor you feel like you go to the 7-Eleven if you're going to rob the 7-Eleven.
In fairness, we gave them so much money.
Yeah.
That some petty larceny was due.
Okay, that's fair. Someone else that lived in that house was our buddy Tim O'Brien. How often do you see Tim O'Brien now that you're back in Boston? So you see him every day? Talk to him every day?
Yeah.
Are you the godfather of any of his children with Laura Dunn?
Yeah, his third.
Look at you.
Nice.
I just I had a feeling that was in the cards, but I didn't know that until you just confirmed it. That's great.
Yeah, it was like 2 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, this is a recent birth. All boys, right?
Yeah, he was born last October, but the christening was middle of September.
So they got it within the year. Is that a thing? Do you know this? You're an Irish Catholic, right?
I have no clue.
Yeah, my third, we have not gotten baptized yet, but it is.
Clock's ticking, buddy.
Clock is ticking. I think back when we were little, our parents I think you were supposed to do it in within the first 2 months. But I think our parents' generation is just happy that anyone's getting baptized these days.
Agreed.
So that's a win. Last question for you, Walsh, here. And this is something we've definitely offlined about, text threaded about. I can't remember exactly the distinction or the issue Hoban had with one of these movies, but if you remember, we can get to that. But I think we asked Steve this last year or the year before. I had a pretty good run of movies on Saturday. I got the last hour of Ocean's 11, then the last hour of The Departed. It was amazing. While I'm like playing on the floor with my youngest daughter, it was incredible. So I'm going to ask you to rank these Boston movies from 5 to 1, 5 being your least favorite, 1 being your favorite. These are in no particular order, but you can rank them from 5 to 1. The Departed, The Town, Mystic River, Good Will Hunting, and Spotlight. And feel free if I left anything out, like The Verdict is a great Boston movie from way back in the day. I know you're not going to put Fever Pitch in there, but if you got some other ones you want to highlight, feel free.
I can't even think of another one off the top of my head other than like Black Mass, which was one of the worst movies ever made. I went Mystic River 5. It's been 20 years since I've seen it. It deserves a rewatch, right? Because I think it almost won an Oscar, right? And it actually did win a couple of Oscars.
Best supporting one. I assume Sean Penn won, but I don't know that for sure.
And Clint Eastwood makes great movies.
Yeah.
Like Trouble with the Curve is like sneaky one of my favorite movies.
Oh, there we go.
So I went that 5. I went Departed 4. It obviously won an Oscar. I mean, all these movies star-studded cast, right?
Yeah.
So the cast isn't like lacking in any one of these. Very rewatchable, but just probably seen it way too many times. Spotlight's probably the best story being told. Obviously, it's not the greatest topic, but they tell the best story. That won the Oscar too, right?
It did.
Yeah. Like unbelievable cast. Town, number 2. When I first saw it, I hated it. But now I feel like it's the most rewatchable of the movies, and like it's stupid, but it's entertaining.
Did they get the Boston characters the best? Does that add to the lore?
Yeah, I think
like the Blake Lively character. I feel like that is like if you live in Boston, you know someone like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thick accent. And then Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Like 90s South Boston. Like I live in South Boston now. It's nowhere near what it was in the 90s. So even just seeing the way that was shot. And L Street Tavern is the bar they go to. We used to go there after softball. It's a great piss hole bar.
Nice.
So
I didn't rank them myself, Guru. I definitely asked Steve this when he was on last year. What's your favorite of those? Good Will Hunting, right?
I mean, Good Will Hunting is the clear one. I don't think you can argue that on this list. I really like Mystic River. Now, I recently, COVID, watched Mystic River. Mystic River was a part of the like 60 movies that MT and I watched. They were all like Oscar winners or almost Oscar winners or whatever. We got through like 40 or something movies during COVID, and one of them was Mystic River. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I probably got that too. I am on the train that Departed's overrated. I don't think it's bad. Homeland thinks it's awful.
Does anyone remember his particular gripe?
You remember?
He didn't like. I don't remember what.
I thought he didn't understand what happened when Leo had Matt Damon on the top of that building, and then
he had a problem with the ending.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever.
I put Spotlight at the end just because I don't want to talk about that the whole topic.
Yeah.
That goes to the end, and the Town 4. So I had 5 to 4 was Spotlight, Town, Departed, Mystic River, Good Will Hunting. That was my 5.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong. I mean, they're all pretty good movies. Good stuff there, though, guys. We jump right ahead to our Week 9 preview as I continue to glance over the Blue Jays. Still can't believe I'm doing this during Game 5 of the World Series. You guys are welcome for the free content. Walsh, you guys are 4-4. You take on Zance. Hunter, I don't even know her. Guru, I feel like we're doing a little Kirk Herbstreit here where, Walsh, you can't chime in because you're playing the game, and he doesn't chime in when he's announcing the game, which is weird. Gambling, a lot in the news recently. But give us an X factor on this one here, Guru.
I mean, the Chargers. Right, like he's playing all the Chargers. It feels like that's gonna be. I mean, I think maybe Dak on Monday night. That's probably the 2. It's got to be one of those. But I mean, he got Quentin Johnson put up 0. He's got all these Chargers playing. I feel like that Chargers-Titan game is going to be the difference.
Yeah, hopefully they run up the score and they pass and some passing touchdowns early, and then my guy Kamani Vidal can steal a touchdown late. That'd be great. I love hyphens. That's Robbie. They take on your guys, Guru. I just breezed past this as I did an earlier question, but did I bury Robbie's team too soon? Like, I looked through this matchup. He hasn't put Lamar Jackson back in yet. He hasn't put Jahmyr Gibbs in yet since I last looked. Yeah. But he's going to be pretty heavily favored against you, Guru. And if he wins, I feel like he might be right back in it. And I had him in tier 3 and done. Is he still alive and well? I mean, he was your early season darling here, and you're facing him this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a late comeback from him here. I mean, he's definitely going to win this game against me. There's no question about that.
And the self-deprecation of this podcast is just all time high.
He's going to be. We're both going to be one game under 5. He's probably got. I didn't look. He probably has more points scored than me, but it's probably close. And I think he's right back in it.
Wallace, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's got Lamar, who's probably the biggest X factor in the NFL. So if Lamar's healthy, like, he's going to do damage. And he's also got, like, Wan'Dale Robinson, not a name that jumps off the page, but if Scadabo's down and Neighbors is down, like, who's Jackson Dart throwing to?
I know. And honestly, I think when you loved his team earlier in the season, Guru, I think I just saw that Rashee Rice wasn't there yet. And now that he's back, like, I look at his team a lot differently. I do. I think I may have been a little off on my evaluation of this team.
I mean, Pacheco maybe out, right? They didn't throw it all to Hollywood Brown last week. Like, that's what Rashee sent, man. I'm telling you, that was the key. If he had done that as a team name, I think I'd be feeling a little better about his team. I think the I love hyphens thing, I'm not a big fan of myself, but we keep moving. That's the Stan Zix against the McConkey off my back, me against Hath. This matchup currently projected to be a 114-114 tie, and I know that because Hath screen grabbed it and sent me a text. Texts a lot during game weeks, this guy. That obviously isn't going to happen, but it did get me thinking about the changes we've made in the league to increase parity. How do you guys feel about our decision years ago to remove kickers and defenses and add a flex to both of those spots? I think we had the defenses for an extra year. I think that was a Walsh idea, and then we got rid of it. Maybe I unilaterally got rid of it one year, and we're onto the 3 flex. But how do we feel about that years after the fact?
Oh, I love it. Even though, like, defense won me a champion, like, single-handedly won me a championship with the Patriots defense, like, it's such a crapshoot, especially at kicker now, because these guys are kicking 60-yard field goals, and if you get the points for that, I think that's junk. So I am all in favor of getting rid of defense and kickers and keeping it out. Add the flex. I do think we probably have too many bench spots on the team. I think the waiver wire could be a little bit more aggressive with more bench spots, but never bring back kickers, never bring back defense.
Fair. Guru.
Completely agree. I love it. I hate playing in other leagues. We don't talk about other leagues, but it's like trying to think about picking up and dropping kickers. It's just
it's too much.
It's just dumb. I love that we did this. I do agree with Wall. It's like the waiver wire has become almost non-existent. There's like 3 guys a year that everybody dumps all the money on. So yeah, I think I agree with that. I've been pushing for the loser points for a long time. I think that's the next thing I would want.
Like the double win, like if you score top 5, you get an extra win.
Yes. And if you can go 1-1, 2-0, or 0-2 in any given week.
I mean, I have a difficult enough time explaining to Hoban, like, if he makes a trade and he has to keep the guys and how they keep, like, I'm like, you keep 8 guys, you can keep. We'll see. Well, I think that's a good rule, but it might be a little too highbrow for this league. Right. The Allen Bros are taking on the Sale C's. Kess has now gone loss win, loss win, loss win, loss win. That 8-game streak of alternating between wins and losses ties the Sports Edge Fantasy Football League record. Hoban did the same in 2022, not to start the season, but it was an 8-game streak. So Kess is going for history here if he loses. But no Saquon, no Devontae Smith or Emeka Ibuka for Pete this week. And if Pete loses, is he going to blow it up? And if he does blow it up, I guess, how will you know he blows it up? Like, who would he have to trade for you guys to know that he blew it up? Guru, I'll start with you.
That's a good question. I don't know who it would be. I mean, I think he might as well sort of blow it up. Like, I think he needs to trade one big name and get a couple picks.
Like, are we talking Saquon's got to go? Josh Allen's got to go? What do you think?
I mean, probably not Josh Allen. I think Saquon's maybe a good example of somebody could grab him for a run. He's maybe starting to hit the peak, right? So maybe you can get something big for him. That's a good example, I think. But yeah, I don't know. He's got to do something.
B. Walsh, what do you think?
Yeah, sorry to be harsh, but I don't know what you're blowing up because I don't see a lot there.
Ooh,
Love that.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Is like Saquon's over the hill. That's hyperbole. He's not over the hill, but he's. I don't know what.
You're not going to get as much for him as you think you would, I think is the way to say it.
He wanted Bijan for me to get, and I was like, okay, well,
that's a no.
comparing apples and tow trucks.
Yeah. But I think if he trades Saquon, I think it'll be a good, like, he's surrendered on the season, and he's trying to, acquire some picks he's been working the waiver wire a lot, and we'll see if he can turn his fortunes around. Yeah.
Devonta Smith, maybe? I mean, that could be somebody. He's got Ibuka and Zay Flowers. Do you get rid of either Zay Flowers or Devonta Smith and try to get something there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he can trade Allen or Ibuka. Those are the two.
Yeah. I don't think I'd touch those guys either.
I mean, another good one could be just trade Tyrone Tracy. He's going to have the job now for a while. Maybe get
true.
Tracy.
That's good because he doesn't need him because Tyrone Tracy's not going to help him much.
Not next year, he's not, right? Yeah. So it's going to help somebody this year, though, and he might not need that. So that's a good one.
That's a good call. Good trade candidate out there for you teams looking to make a move. Last game, Bowers Castle. That is Hoban against the Thrill of the Chase. That is Steve. Let's assume that this matchup counts in some sort of best-of-5 pentathlon between these two. They have talked a lot about playing golf against each other, Torrey Pines. We'll say that's event number 2. So I did ask you guys to do a little bit of homework here. What other events should they add to compete in to round out this top 5 and who you have winning those events and or just the entire competition, whatever this competition is? Walsh, we'll start with you.
So for starters, if those are the first 2 in golf terms, I think Steve's got them dormy. So Hoban's going to have to sweep.
Oh, boy. Boy.
So I got a bunch written down, but I think the top 3... We'll start with punt, pass, and kick.
I like that.
I like that too.
I think Hoban could hold his own there.
Yeah. I think that's a decided edge for Hoban. Hoban's good at that random shit.
Play darts, play a game of cricket.
Ooh, love cricket.
In 10-pin bowling. Like, I think Hoban would mop him in 10-pin bowling. And then I got a bunch others listed, but...
Wow, that could come down to darts then. That could be exciting.
Yeah.
Guru, what do you got?
I thought we should throw a drinking game in there. How about a little beer pong?
I got beer pong as well.
Little one-on-one beer pong.
Yeah.
I went with a best of 3 for the one event, but best of 3 heads-up poker. How about we go ahead? Best of 3 poker game. I like that. And then we've talked about this several times on the podcast, Danzig, but maybe it's 40-yard dash.
I have 100-yard dash. I don't know who I think wins that. I mean, I wrote toss-up because Hoban is sneaky fast. Division I athlete. Like, Steve has those long legs. He can run, but I don't know who wins that one. I'd like to see it. Fantasy football, I'm giving to Steve. Golf, Hoban's sneaky. Walsh, you haven't played with him. He's sneaky. I don't know. I don't know if we're playing with handicaps or not in this imaginary pentathlon. No handicaps. Okay, so the handicaps are out. You put those 2 on the wheel. I don't know. Anything could happen. Torrey Pines, who the hell knows? Beer pong. I don't know. A slight lean to Hoban. 100-yard dash. I don't know. My last event that I added was I referenced Colony Pizza earlier. I have had a meal with both of them there. A Colony Pizza eating contest. And if we're going to do it in, who could eat it faster, I think that's a decided edge to Hoban. So we'll see. Hopefully those 2 could get on board and give us some sort of, at least find a third event to split a tie if we do get a tie. But certainly something to look forward to as they have a budding rivalry / friendship there. But that will do it for us here. Wallace, thanks for hopping on. Pleasure to have you. Guru, thanks as always. And we'll be back next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan.